The first time I aimed the door on purpose, my hand did not shake. That frightened me more than anything had yet, because the hand was new, and it already knew what to do. If you are new here, I was a dying old linguist. They poured what was left of me into a younger body to keep me crossing, and now there are silver glyphs under my skin that light up when the door does. Nobody has ever seen that before. Nobody can tell me what it means. What matters today is that I am the navigator. I read the route. 4 of us are going through, and only I can bring us back. There is Reyes, who has done this more times than is good for a person. There is Rook, who is large and gentle and frightened of nothing, which means he has not been doing this long. And there is Bello, our physicist, who keeps trying to explain the grid to me in numbers and keeps stopping halfway, because the numbers do not behave. Holt does not come through. Holt never comes through. She stands by the door and watches us go, the way you watch a coin drop down a deep well, listening for the splash. Bello caught my sleeve before we lined up. She had given up on the maths and gone to the old language instead, which is how I knew it was bad. The grid is not a map, she told me. Maps hold still. This one rearranges itself depending on who reads it, and it reads the reader back. She thinks the door spent 10,000 years waiting for a navigator it could read in return, and that it has finally got one, and that the one is me. I told her that was not comforting. She said comfort was not her department, and went to check her kit. I should tell you what it is like, going armed into the dark in a body that is not yours. It is like wearing a glove that fits too well. Everything works. Nothing is mine. I keep catching my own reflection in the steel and expecting an old man, and finding instead this calm, strong stranger who is apparently also me. I do not trust him. I am going to have to. There is no one else in here. I set the number. A short hop, Bello's choice, somewhere close on the grid, to test me. And as I carved it, the lines under my arm warmed and lit, and the door brightened to match, the 2 of them talking past me in a language I am supposed to be the only one who reads. The arm answered first, before the carving was even finished, as if it already knew the number I meant to set. We stepped through together, which is its own kind of strange. 4 people poured through the same needle at once, and we came out standing, all of us, on a world I will not forget, because it was the first one that was wrong in a way I could not name. It was a forest, tall, pale trees with no branches, just smooth trunks going up into a green-tinged sky, close together for miles, no wind, no sound, and the light came from everywhere at once, no shadows, like standing inside a held breath. We had crossed to empty worlds before, in the days when I was old, and empty has a sound to it, wind and grit and far water. This was the first world I ever stood on that was full and silent, and that is so much worse. Empty leaves you alone. Full means something is choosing not to speak to you yet. Bello took one reading and went very quiet. She said the trees were not trees. She said they were all one thing, joined underneath, and that we should not touch them. Rook, who is frightened of nothing, put his hand on one anyway, because he is frightened of nothing, and that is the trouble with him. Nothing happened. That was the worst part. Nothing happened, and we all stood there waiting for it too, and the not happening stretched out so long that Reyes finally said the word none of us wanted to say first. "We're being counted," she said. And I knew she was right, because the lines under my arm had started, very faintly, to glow, not from the door. The door was a world away. Something here was reaching for the same part of me the door reaches for. Rook saw it first, and to his credit he did not run, though I think now that running would have been the sensible thing. Far back among the trunks, where the no shadows should have made everything plain, there was a shape that the light went around instead of touching. Tall, still, facing us. It did not move toward us. It did not need to. We had come a long way inward to find the thing that is coming. And on our very first crossing, on a quiet world full of one patient tree, something had found us first. "Set us home," Reyes said, calm, always calm. "Now, Vance, the reverse, quick and clean." And I lifted the tool to carve the way back, and the lines under my arm flared bright, and the shape among the trees, the thing that the light would not touch, lifted one long limb. And in my head, In the dead language I have spent my whole life and most of myself learning something that was not me, said one clear word. It said my name.